Hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. Alrighty, today I'm going to finish up Niddler, and I haven't decided exactly what I want to do on the other side. Kind of haven't given too much thought to it. So right now it looks like Niddler's kind of like a reddish orange-red possibly. So I'm going to see, I'm going to put like a light layer of red here all over his fur. And I'll kind of stagger it a bit and stuff so that I'll go ahead and put like the darker red down below and the orange as kind of like a highlight. Let me see. Okay, so what I'm using for orange is this tangerine tone. And it's kind of like a subtle reddish orange, so I think we're going to be able to get away with this part here. Now if you go slow in coloring, you get less of the white of the canvas showing through. And vice versa if you go fast. Oops, got a little bit into his little white beard here. And it doesn't hurt to get into more of the texture by doing little circles. It just seems to cover it a little bit more. Let's see. And then under his eyes, it looks like it's a bit of, let's see. Trying to see it a little closer. Kind of like a yellowish off-white. Let's see, I might be able to get away with just a little bit of yellow. And then on his eyebrows and his chin, all this part is white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a little light gray in his eyebrows and stuff like that. Just try to keep this yellow kind of subtle. Probably just a really quick hit. And his ears are kind of like a flesh tone, so I could probably get away with this bad boy, but one a little bit wetter. Let's see. Or actually, I could probably use this thing right here, and I'll just use this like right here. Actually, let's see. It's a pretty good tone. I think I'll leave some white open. And I'll just hit this like really lightly. So I could probably get away with kind of a combination of this tone and the yellow for the area around his eyes. If I let the pen stay on a little bit longer, it looks a little darker. And when you color, you don't have to color the entire thing in. You can leave like little patches of white to for the highlights. I mean, it looks good if it's colored in completely, but if you want to add like a little bit more dimension, just leave a little patch here and there for the highlights. Let's see, this one right here was my, let's see, one of these was I was going to use as a blender. That was this one right here. Let's see, I'm going to use a little bit of brown in his ear just to make it a little bit more dimensional instead of having just a flat color. And we'll put that behind. And we'll just throw a little bit of brown in certain areas just to give it more dimension. So like I always say, I always like to use more than one color in a drawing or coloring. And white, the white highlight, I kind of count that as another color as well. So now his ears kind of look like they have more dimension to them. They're not just a flat tone. Okay, his eyebrows, because they're so thick, I want to go ahead and I want to kind of give them a little bit of dimension. So everywhere beneath or lower is going to be something that's going to receive a little bit of the tone. White, I like to either use gray or I like to use blue as like a shadow for white, anything white. But only a little bit. If you use too much, then it becomes blue. So just enough to give it some kind of like dimension. So all the light's coming from this direction where their attentions are. And I just do that. Okay. It is very subtle. His eyes, I want to make this part just a little darker. And it kind of makes it look like it's glowing just a bit. And maybe a little hint of yellow right here to really just bump that glow up a bit. Let me do it like right here. Let's see, that yellow is kind of muted. Let me try this one. This one here is a Crayola fabric marker. And I used the crap out of these. And these aren't bad either. They're kind of limited in their color range as well. Let's see. I'll just stick this one back in there. And use this one. The only downside to them is that they don't have a brown. And on one of my drawings with these, it was one of the Art with Edge. Yeah, it was Art with Edge sugar skulls onto a t-shirt. And actually his eyes don't look so bad. I was going to bump it up with a little bit of white, and then once the white dries I was going to go over it with some color, but it doesn't look too bad just the way it is. Okay, so let me keep going with let's see, I want to come down this way. So let me finish up him. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of, yeah. So if you decide to buy, and it's inexpensive, they're like $3 or $4 or something like that when you can find them. probably at Michael's and things like that. They work really well, and they mix, but you have to mix your own brown, and that's a bit of a challenge in itself. Orange, 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 orange. There we go, tangerine. Da, da. And I'll just put some tangerine down here. I was going to have like a darker red a little bit further down. And that'll help with bringing a little bit of roundness to his face. Either a darker red or a brown. Let's see. Here's a brown. And I'm going to use a little bit of this. And it adds a little bit of subtlety. It's kind of like doing that little crest thing, kind of like this right here. Just to show that light is hitting it really hard here. It hits the shadow and then it starts to go back to a lighter tone. This brown is not dark enough for what I want to do, so I'm going to use a little bit darker. It's subtle, but I want it a little bit more dramatic. Just a little. So I'll bump that up a bit. There we go. And I can even use a little bit of that in here. And that just makes his ears kind of more dimensional. Not necessary, but it helps. And I'll just kind of blend it in a little bit. There we go. A little bit more drama. And if I wanted to make his beak area seem like a little, you know, curved, you just add a little bit of brown here. And maybe even a little bit of brown here. And that can make it look more curved. If this was more of a, what is the word? Like an eye bag. Like the little area that's like around your eye, like around here. I could just make the brown a little bit more pronounced here, which makes this kind of look round. And then I can just come back in with an orange or a red and, you know, do it up a little bit. Or just leave it like it is. Because it creates like a kind of highlight here with the colors that are already there. This is tomato red. So I'm going to throw just a smidge of red on there and into that shadow, so it doesn't look like a smudge but more like a, you know, design choice there. All right, and then because it's light in that area, there's a little bit of the canvas coming through, so it kind of gives it a little bit of a highlight. Again, right here too. Where's my, okay, there's the, where's my other, was this the only tangerine I had? Let's see. So I'm just coming over with tangerine one more time over this red, where I don't want the white to show through. There we go. And that just pops the color back in there. Okay, so onto his shoulder. Because they're in front of him, there's going to be a bit of a shadow, or it'll be darker down here. So I'm going to just right off the bat throw some brown on there. I got to decide which side I want to use. And this area right here on the inside of his wing is kind of like a pink tone. So I'm going to do it very lightly. This is coffee. This is like one of the darkest browns I've got. The one that I keep saying may as well be black. Okay, so there's the art, and then let's see. Let me double check, make sure that this is okay. The inner wing is pink. So that'll help me put that in there. And I'll just go ahead and do this. Yeah, Niddler's got lots of color, lots of color. And if you ever felt froggy, you could always draw like the feathers, the inner feathers. But I don't like it that much, so I might hint at a couple inner feathers with the bubblegum tone from Arteza. And I'm coloring in little circles. That way I can get some really good coverage. Now, one thing, if you find that your marker is drying out, you can try dipping it in water, and sometimes it's dried out because it's just been exposed to air too long. Another thing you can do is get another marker close to the tone. Cover as much as you can with the marker that's dried out or drying out, and let that be kind of like a base tone. And then use the other marker I hope is a little bit closer to this, and use that as your shadows to deepen it up a bit. And as the marker is still drying, you know, it's still trying to dry out, you can always use it kind of like a blender, like I do with this other one that's kind of dried out. Okay, so like where the wing is coming, like, because the light is hitting it this way, where the wing is coming right here, I can get away with doing a darker, like a dark shadow. His wing kind of bends a bit like that because of, like, I guess his arm or something like that. You know, to control it. Wing tendon, I don't know. And this is bubblegum. This is that one that is the pink equivalent for Arteza. It's a little dark, so it makes a really great shadow. And we'll have that pop out a little bit there to show that the light is coming from that direction. And we'll just come a little bit away from the feather. And then I take the other, right down, well, before I hit that, because I don't want it to dry up on me. I'm going to take this other pink, and I'm going to go over it. Now, if you want your shadow to be nice and, you know, definitely there, you could leave it alone, but I'm just kind of gently blending it in. The edges, kind of dulling it up a bit. Like you could either have a harsh shadow, or you can have kind of like a subtle shadow. And I'm choosing subtle shadow around the edges of it, and then I'm going to go in with a darker, in with the same color probably, over, but closer to the edge. So like the further away from the edge, the softer the shadow becomes. So I'll bring that in just a bit. So like the shadow's darkest closest to the object that's casting it. And then it kind of diffuses itself away. And that just makes it a little bit more obvious too. I'm going to bring a shadow here. Now she's going to cast a shadow because she's right in front of him. So I'm going to make a shadow behind her. This will make her pop out a little bit more. Ren, not so much. If he's going to cast a shadow, he's going to cast it this way. Okay. And I'm going to keep it darker here. And then soften it up around the edges. And that kind of gives a little bit of dimension to what's going on. Let's see, so that is capturing a little bit of the light. I can always make this a little darker so that the light is hitting it there. Light's hitting it, it's casting a shadow on him. Let's see, diffusing it here. And then there'll be a bit of a shadow on his arm because of Tula. So let me see, where's my coffee? God, coffee sounds good right now. All right, it is 5:42, so we got time for this. We got time. Okay, so shadow, 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 and we'll give it a round bit, and then we'll go over it with red and orange. Red, 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 right here. I'm going to leave a little bit, I'm going to make it really light right here on his shoulder. And then I'm going to come over it with orange, the tangerine. But I'm not gonna go over the red part where I just did. I want the light to kind of hit it just a bit. Okay. All right. The outside of his wing. Let me see if I can find a picture of him with the outside of his wing here, because I've got it curving a bit. I might have this all backwards. Let me see if I can zoom out. Okay, so the outside of his wing is also pink. So just to make it kind of like a bit of a difference, and this is red up in here. So this is all red. Ah, gosh, the design on this creature. Okay, not a problem. Okay, now this is a weird kind of design. He's got like a little bit of here. This is all red. And I think I'm going to leave like kind of like a pink highlight on there. Just like a little pink swatch that's not going to get colored. Just so that it kind of blends in with the red, the red and the pink together. Because it just doesn't look right. I don't know. I didn't design this guy. It's not my favorite. You're not my favorite. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little bit, it's a little bit wet, so it's starting to bleed into itself. And I'm on the edge there. Okay. And let's see. Okay. Good enough for government work for now. Okay, let me get this Minga melon thing out the way. Well, actually, I'll probably work on that when I move that. Let me see. I'm going to take this off since I'm not doing any drawing on it. So I don't need as much control, but I still want to leave the barrier thing in here. And that'll allow me to move around a little bit better. Because this is canvas, it's pretty stiff. So I'm not really worried about it like bunching up like a t-shirt and stuff does. Okay. I can be doing a little bit of drawing on this, so I will. We'll complete the wing a bit. Okay. Okay, his wing comes up kind of like to a tip. Comes down. And it kind of like staggers a bit, like a curtain almost. And they kind of fold on themselves a bit. They don't come all the way up. Maybe halfway, a little less than halfway. Okay, so that's part of that wing. Let's see, and this red here, he's kind of got this kind of action going. And it's all red, or more of like his tone. Do 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 do. Here we go. And I'll color it really fast, and then have orange take over. And it's like, it's kind of jagged. This red here. And again, since it's closer to the light, I'm going to leave, I'm going to color it in, but I'm going to color it lightly. And that'll be like the highlight, the sun hitting it. And then back here, it'll be a little darker, just a little further away from the light because it's bending. So that'll be a little darker. I'll use a little bit of the coffee just to give it that bend. So it's bending like right here. And we can probably get away with doing a little bit of a shadow here where the armature or whatever of his arm on his wing does its thing. So that helps a little bit, and we'll throw a little bit of a curve here. Alright, now I'll throw a little bit of red on here, and then I'll take over with the tangerine. And this will make the curve a little bit more subtle. But the eye will think that it's kind of round. Da, da, na, 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 na. This music is so chill. It makes me want to go back to sleep. Okay, so all of this right here will be pink, and then it'll have like little bands. So let's see. I think I want to do a little bit more here. We'll use a little bit more red. Da, 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 da. Hi, Mick Shonda. How are you? Mick Shonda has joined me. Thanks for stopping by. Truly appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to myself. And 9 times out of 10 I am. But every now and then somebody might pop in and reinforce my talking to myself on the regular. Nah, I'm actually trying to talk to you guys. Okay, so let me go ahead and whip these bands out. These little bands are they look like little bands of yellow, and then it goes to teal or a tealish tone, and it's like right next to the tip. So if I can just capture, let's see, so this will be teal, or a teal-ish color. Let's see, we'll bring this up a little bit higher. I'm half tempted to just go ahead and have these little bands kind of bleed into, but then again, you know, parrots, they don't have that kind of subtlety, I don't think. Alright, teal next to Dula. And again, to keep up to with my standards of having more than one color, I'm probably going to put a bit of green as a shadow, just so that these wings look a little bit more dimensional. Monkey bird feathers. Alright, so let me go ahead and whip out the pink. It's going to be a lot of pink here. Alright. I kind of want this to differentiate from this pink here. So I think this pink I'll end up making a little bit darker. And then I'll try to keep... I wonder if I've got I should have another pink. Let me see. And again, this is the fabric, what's it, the Crayola fabric markers. Let's see. Let's see how this one looks. Now this is not bad. It's kind of like an in-between tone. Not bad. Okay, so let me see what it looks like by itself here. Now this is where the hoop is great, so because it's not it'll keep it from moving around. Huh. Okay, it looks like this wants to dry out on me. So I think I'll do like kind of a gradient action where part of this pink is going to lead into the other pink. So I'm gonna get this to go into the red a bit, and then kind of have it gradient down to the other pink. Because there's no transition on the cartoon version. I mean, who's got time for that? Who's got time for that? Ain't nobody got time for that. They didn't have time for that. Well, one of the things I liked about Pirates of Dark Water, it didn't seem like they recycled a lot of images. You know, like Scooby-Doo, they're constantly, when they walk, they all have the same walk. They're all walking kind of like in the same formation. I don't remember seeing that kind of repetition. Or like even in Thundar the Barbarian, they would be riding their horses the same way every time. You know, and they'd leap at almost, you know, you can almost time it to where they were going to take that leap. And it was always, you know, as they're heading to the next place, next episode. And yeah, I understand that, you know, because of time constraints and stuff, that they had to reuse animations. But I didn't notice too much of that in this cartoon. Okay. Now here's where I'm kind of running into that problem. And what gets me is that these are new markers. I have not, this is the first time I've used this pink. Opened it up and used it. This is the first time. So let me dip it in water and see if I can get a little bit more of it to come out. And that doesn't look too bad. It could be just like I said, just exposed to air and it's just kind of dried out. Just needed a little moisture, Okay, this music is putting me to sleep. Where is... I gotta change it up. Now, what I was listening to is the latest tracks on Epidemic Sound. These are... This one right here that's playing is called Stratosphere Voyage, Spirits of Our Dreams. So it's not bad. It's just that it's a little too laid back for me first thing in the morning. So, let's see if we can find something a little bit more upbeat and busy. Let's see. We got rock, R&B, soul, electronica in dance. Let's do some electronica in dance. Okay, on the Blue Blurry from Duckmaw. Bam, 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 bam. All right. Wake me up, baby. Wake me up. Okay, so yeah, now the outside of these wings definitely have a bit of a difference between the outside and the inside. This is a lot more vibrant. I just dipped this in a little bit more water. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is mixing up a few pinks here and there, just to give it a little bit more difference. Because I don't want this pink to merge with this pink into that pink, and you know, we don't want to do too much of that. Get into that crease there. Whoops. Gotta be careful. Don't want to have it bleed anywhere. Okay. So there's that pink. But I think I'm going to throw maybe a different pink in here. I do want to use a little bit more of this. This is the bubblegum pink, but I think I'll just have it where it overlaps a bit, really lightly if I can, just so that it has a little bit of something. And then I'm going to go over it a little bit with, there we go, and that should look like it's overlapping. Cast a little bit of a shadow. And that's just so I can get a little bit more mileage out of this particular marker. And it does look a little washed out, so let's see, what other things do I have? Yeah, this bubblegum pink is very, it's like so dark. It will, let's see, Let's see, this pink is very light because it's almost, either it's been, because it's sat in the same area for a very long time. Let that sink in a little bit. And let's see if it gives us a little bit of magic here. Not really. I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. Okay. I want to do something about this. It's just really super light and washed out looking. Let's see. Da, da, da. Or is that the right side? Nope, this was the right side. Okay. How can I fix this? Da, 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 da. Let's see. I've got possibly a tulip fabric marker. Oh, no, that's more of the same. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Let me see if I can take a similar color. Oh, looks like I've got two pinks. Okay. So this one must have been like a day glow pink, and then there's like a little bit of a darker pink that came with the graffiti. So let's see what it does for us. Ooh. They don't stink, which is pretty cool. They're not like a Sharpie where they just like reek. It does have a bit of a scent, but it's not like anything that's going to make you retch or anything like that. Is it dry? I need to find a place where I can test this because I don't see much of a difference. Let me wet it. Is this thing giving me more atmospheric music? No atmospheric music! This is supposed to be electronica and dance. Give me dance music. Something. There we go. Woof. When my eyes start to get heavy, I know I'm in trouble. Alright. Okay, I'm going to go in a different direction. Maybe I can get this covered. Niddler, you pink bastard, you. Okay. Because I've got a whole nother side that I need to do as well. If this pink is letting me down, I'm going to have to improvise. And this is new. This is the first time I've used this one. I bought this online from Michael's. Okay. Alright, you guys. Alright. Okay, so what I'll do now is do Niddler's mouth. He's got his tongue. And we'll just give him a bit of a tongue here. Okay, close enough for government work. Okay. Okay, so everything that is beneath anything is going to get this blue tone. Because this is considered the shadow. So since the light is hitting it this way, I'm going to go ahead and throw some blue on here. There we go. And then I'm going to kind of do some little tick mark and lines here, just to give his fur on his area here a little bit more movement. It's not just like white. Just make it kind of dark here. You can see where some of the places had bled. That's okay, we'll make it work. Now just a little bit of blue because we don't want it to just scream blue. Okay, that's good. Okay, dun, dun, dun. We've got the Minga melon. Now Ayaz is pretty gosh darn big, so that might cover up his other wing. Let's see, we're going to kind of do that same kind of action. Let me get my source image back. Okay, so these wings kind of mirror each other. Huh. Okay. Okay. Alright. Imagining that I'm drawing a line. His shoulder would probably be like right here for the hand here. So from the shoulder, a little bit above, the wing should come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up. Okay, about right here. Has that bend. Oh, we might be saved by Ayaz. Or at least I might be saved by Ayaz. Okay, so we got that. We'll have his monkey bud wing coming this way. And then we'll just kind of incorporate Ayaz in there. So he's got a little pink on his side as well. Let's see. Yay! Okay. Okay, so this part is pretty much going to be red. Let's see. And I was worried. Oh, okay. Yeah, most of those times things don't work out as well. I got to come back and do a little bit of work on Ayaz as far as his hair. Oops, this is not tomato red. This is raspberry, which is not a bad thing. I could probably use that in a different area. Okay. Where are you, tomato red? There you are. Give me all your energy, because I are tired. I want to go back to bed. Okay, I'm going to use the chisel tip on this bad boy. Okay, Minga Melon won't cast too much of a shadow. Let's see, Ayaz won't cast a shadow on this part. Okay, and I'll just finish the rest of that with orange, or tangerine. Use the chisel tip so I can get through it pretty fast. Now, part of me was thinking about just drawing random characters from the show, maybe like their faces or something like that. Probably like try to find the toy line and just whatever they made in the toy line. I could do the ship. Nah, I don't want to take anything away from here. Okay, so this is all going to be pink. And let's see, I might have a little bit of yellow for the band. So we'll have a little band here. Let's see, and we'll throw maybe one little band here. Okay, so pink, teal. Let's see, this is green. There it is. Oh yes, that's what I need. I need some high energy music because my ass is tired. And I got a good night's sleep. That's what kills me. Okay, so we'll use the crazy vibrant pink on the outside and then see if we can get a little bit of... Oh, Ayaz is going to cast a shadow. That'll help me with some of this pink here. I could use the bubble gum. Okay, it says he's casting his shadow. Where art thou? There you are, Bubblegum. Okay. We'll give it a little bit of bumps. His shadow, a little bit of bumps. Let his wings cast a little bit of a shadow. Okay, so we're casting a little bit of shadow there. I think this time I'm going to use a little bit of this raspberry. Oh, was this raspberry? Yeah, it's raspberry. Just a little. Okay, and then I'm going to use this other pink. This is the duller pink. This one probably would work kind of decent with the flesh tone. If your people are pinks, a lot of pink people. There we go. Excellent. Okay, and then this is tomato red. I'm going to throw a little bit more red on here because orange just took over. Okay, and then onto his paw. His hands look like they're brown instead of red. So it like comes up to red to a certain point, like right here. And then after that, they're brown. I did not notice that. No wonder this cartoon did not last longer than 2 seasons. There's a lot of detail that goes into these. Okay. Okay, so where it's darkest is where I'm going to apply the coffee. Let's see. There'll be a shadow cast by Rin's head. Okay. This arm is in the back. And then maybe everything on this side will catch the shadow. Okay, and then I'll use with my light brown. There it is. This will work. And I think I'll use a little bit of yellow to make his hands just a little bit brighter. We'll use this yellow. Oh, you want to play special? Okay. Get it a little bit wet. There we go. Yeah, I haven't used these markers in almost a year. At least these colors, per se. I know I used the gray, I think, when I was doing the Totoro shirt. And a few of those colors. Okay, I don't want his hands about the same color as Rin's hair, so I'm going to go ahead and color it just a little more. And it can't hurt to maybe do a little bit of the tangerine just to give it a little bit of warmth to make it more of like a warmer brown. There we go. And I'll just go back over it with brown. All right. Not bad, not bad. Okay. La 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 la. It's gonna be like, this is like wicked wet, so I'm not gonna do too much more to that. Minga melon. Let's see. His Minga melon. Let's see. I think. Let's see. I don't have the deeper, darker green for it. Okay, that's all right. Okay, in the grooves here, these are a dark green. The melon itself is like a yellow green. And we'll just carry this darker tone down a little bit. I'm gonna try to be careful to leave a little bit of an area for the highlight. His thumb should cast a shadow. His fingers here. I need a darker green here. Let's see. What do I have? Okay. Yep, if you need a set that has green markers, Arteza is your set. It's got 6 greens. Out of all, I believe, 24 markers, 6 of them are green. And they're distinctive. It's not like you could say, oh, this one is like, here's my deepest. This is crazy. This is the darkest green here. This is called olive green, yet it's like the lightest. You would think this would be the darkest, but this is the darker. It's even darker than this one. This one here is mint green, and this one here is turquoise. Both of these I thought were dark greens. No. This one's the darker green. Look at this beast. This beast is dark. And it's got the lightest tip. Go figure. Okay. Now I need a lighter green. And I'm not going to trust those. Let's see. This one here, this one appears to be a green. And it's about the droid that I'm looking for. Now I'm going to leave a yellow. I'm going to leave a little bit of a white highlight. And I think I'm going to use yellow. I might not need to. I was going to use yellow as the, you know, close to that highlight. The next lighter color or mid-tone color. So the light's hitting it kind of, sort of, like that. And I'm just trying to get it to blend a little bit with the other greens. Take kind of like the hardness out of the lines here. All right, and then I'll add a little bit of yellow right next to the highlight. Okay. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. What's with this freaking slow music? Sphere. You're killing me, bro. Okay. Let's see. Stay, stay, stay. Beats ambient. Drum and bass. 5-0. Whatever. Okay, we're almost done here. Let's take a last peek. We can throw a little bit of tangerine here. Alrighty then. Not bad. Okay. So now all it basically needs is just some refining here and there. And we'll have Pirates of Darkwater. Once a couple days have passed, I'd want to wash this so I can get some of these pencil lines to go away. But I definitely want to wait at least 2 or 3 days. And just for giggles, maybe hit it with an iron. Because some of these things need to be heat set, but for the most part, a lot of this doesn't. The Arteza fabric markers don't need it. The graffiti fabric markers don't need it. And the tulips don't need it. The color time might need it, but I don't think it really does. I know I had some fabric paints that definitely needed to be heat set, but heat setting is not a bad thing. So here's where we are so far. Pretty much just finishing it up. We'll be just outlining it. But let's see. Oh, you know, I've got this one little area right here. Yep. I think I should color that. You think I should color? I think I should color. Most definitely. But yeah. So taking another peek at it. Yeah, usually I don't do group shots like this. Unless they're doing something like super crazy. I don't usually do group shots like this. Sometimes if they're just faces, yeah, maybe. And that sounds like fun. Just doing like a shit ton of faces. This should have been pink. Oh, God. Oh, well. It is what it is. I'll darken it up because it's in the shadows, sort of, kind of. I hope. No, this should have been pink. Seriously, like this. It should have been pink like this. I wonder. It would take too long for this stuff to dry, and pink going over it's not gonna. Oh, but then again. The bubble gum is pretty overwhelming, and to share to its word, it is overwhelming. A couple coats of that and it'll cover up this red just ducky. But yeah, if I was doing this for someone specific, I would definitely like paint this white and then go over it with the pink. Okay. Now I'm just throwing some Niddler designs in. Okay. La 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 la. Alright. Not bad. Even though I kind of monkeyed it up over here, but that's okay. He's a monkey bird. let's see. So yeah, I'll just pretty much go over it with my fabric marker. Where's that bad boy? Oh shoot, it's time to go. Okay, you guys. Well, thanks for joining me. It's almost 6:30. I gotta hit that bus. I gotta be out there by 6:40, or else he's gonna leave me behind and laugh at me, make me chase after him for 6 blocks. But again, thanks for joining me. And if you guys have any suggestions on maybe another shirt or coloring, just let me know, and I'll see if I can whip that bad boy out. Alrighty. And you guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you in the next video. It'll more than likely, probably, I don't know what it's going to be next, but we got time for it, cuz we got time for it. You guys take care. Bye-bye.